This is a question from IPMAT Indore 2024 paper QA section, and the question is based on equations and their roots. The question says the difference between the and maximum real root and minimum real root of the equation this. So we are given an equation, we need to find all of its roots and then find which one is the maximum or the highest root, which is the least root, and then find the difference between those two roots. So the question seems difficult, 4 powers and squares and 4 powers and so on, but the question is actually very easy. So now what we have is 16 here, which is 2 power 4. Also 16, which is 2 power 4, cannot be written as the sum of the fourth power of any other two numbers, right? That means you cannot say that a power 4 plus b power 4 will be equal to 16, and a and b are both non-zero, right? Of course they are integers. So that means 16 can only be 2 power 4. That means that 2 can only come from this, or that 2 can only come from this. Both of them cannot be non-zero and non-negative at the same time. Both of them means both of these brackets. So if we want to have this sum equal to 16, तो एक ही possibility है कि एक bracket 0 हो जाए और दूसरा bracket 2 power 4 हो जाए. Then only we can have the equation satisfied. So either this can be 2 and this can be 0, or the other way around. So we will see if x square minus 5 is 0 and x square minus 7 is 2. So if x square minus 7 is 2, then x square minus 7 raised to 4, that will be 16. So that is what we want. So if x square minus 5 is 0, then we can say x will be equal to plus or minus root 5. And in this case, x will be plus or minus 3. Right? So this is the, now x, if x square minus 5 is 0 and x square minus 7, then we can say this x will be plus minus 3 and x will be plus or minus root 5. Now if x is plus minus 3, then this will not be 0. That means this cannot be the root. What we can also say is x square minus 7, this can be minus 2 also, because we have fourth power. So minus 2 power 4 will also be 16. So if that is the case, x square will be equal to 5 and x will be equal to plus or minus root 5. So this matches. X equal to plus minus root 5, x equal to plus minus root 5. That means if I replace x equal to plus or minus root 5, this part will be 0 and this part will be 2, and 2 power 4 will be equal to 16. So I can say that two roots that we get from first assumption, when x square minus 5 is 0 and x square minus 7 is 2, the two roots that we get are plus root 5 and minus root 5. Right? We should get other roots by switching our assumption. If I assume that x square minus 5 is 2 and x square minus 7 is 0. Now this 2 can be plus or minus 2. Right? So if x square minus 7 is 0, that means x square is equal to 7, or x is plus or minus root 7. Here x square is equal to 7 if we take plus 2. So x will be plus or minus root 7. If I take x square equal to minus 2, x square minus 5, if I take x square minus 5 equal to minus 2, so x square will be 3, hence x will be plus or minus root 3. So x equal to plus minus root 7, it satisfies both the brackets. Hence, we will go with this, that this is the root. So there are two roots again, x is root 7 or minus root 7. So what we have is four roots, root 5 minus root 5, root 7 minus root 7. So these are the four roots, right? So if these are the roots, then what we can do is we have to find the maximum root and minimum root. So obviously root 7 is the maximum root and minus root 7 is the minimum root, and the difference between these two will be the difference between the maximum root, which is root 7, and minimum root, which is minus root 7, will be 2 root 7. Hence the answer is 2 root 7, which is option option C. Option C. Right? I hope the concept is clear.